Alright, this is Draven Freed. This is my technical walkthrough. I'm going to start off with what I first started with, which was in the BP bot. Throughout this process, I learned a lot and was confused about a lot. But with the help of the instructors, I was able to accomplish what I needed to do. So the first thing I did was basically create a custom event that was to enable the morph and cast it to the player controller to set morph enabled whenever that pickup would have been picked up. And once that pickup has been made, you will gain the ability to use the key binding G to basically branch off, checking for morph status, making sure the sphere is active, which is inside the viewport. And then I worked on the visibility settings for the bot, so that way the bot would be invisible, and the sphere would be visible when the key binding is pressed, essentially giving you the ability to go back to the bot form. And setting the capsule height essentially allowed me to manipulate the collision effects, so that way I can make the bot collide with a taller object and the sphere itself not collide. The morph ball would be able to reach those spots that were previously unreachable. All this is just garbage. So from there, I came back up here to work on the morph jump pickup. It's all a mess. I haven't really had time to make it all pretty. It's actually really disgusting. And essentially, I had to make it to where the jumping would basically, automatically set to the player controller to ensure that when it was a bot, the player could still jump. And then I would give it conditions to see if the morph was enabled. If you're within that sphere form, is the sphere morph active? Is the sphere active? And if all these conditions are met, then it would allow the player to jump as the as the sphere. With this variable here, jump enabled, essentially allowed me to basically reference, back to the player controller that, hey, it has been picked up, so the condition has been met, so we're going to jump. So this is what I did for the pickup for the jump, which is on component begin overlap. I set it to the colliding actor, and I basically gave it the reference as the player pawn, and gave it some more conditions to follow. And basically, essentially told it to cast to the BP bot, and once collected, it'll cast the BP bot, and the jump pickup would essentially be enabled. And once you pick it up, it would destroy the actor, so that way it's not just something that's just hanging around. Once you get it, you got it. You don't need to get it again. I had to mess with the player controls, basically like what we did on the jetpacks. Setting and is morph enabled. I had to create those functions, and yes, those basically allowed me to reference the player controller and allow those blueprints to work together. I think that's about it. The morph jump pickup, essentially, so both pickups essentially are, wired the same way, obviously with different details in between being casting, differently, and variables acting differently. But essentially it's the same process, as the other actor, setting to colliding actor, and using that player pawn to give itself a condition, and if that condition is met, it'll cast the BP bot to colliding actor to jump, and then destroy the actor. But yeah, that is my technical walkthrough for my feature and how I was able to achieve that. And really, I was only able to achieve that through your help and of Journeys and Blue and Anthony. I greatly appreciate you guys and allowing me to, doing what I got to do to make sure at home's good. So I appreciate that. That is my technical walkthrough.